What is up, you guys? It is Bebe. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a wonderful summer so far. Today I'm so excited because we are finally sitting down and unpacking my EDC Vegas experience this year. Again, if you watched my last video, I apologize that this is very late and my videos are kind of all over the place right now. Like I said, I was traveling basically the whole month of May. I was gone. And after EDC and Glow, it was just, oh my god, there was a lot of work to catch up on, so I'm a little behind on videos and this is very late. And here he comes. It's like the second I start talking, he just has to be involved. We had an unbelievable time at EDC this year. It was definitely a very different EDC for us for a whole multitude of reasons, but it was also a very last minute send. We were not planning on going this year at all. We were like, all right, we're gonna take a break from EDC. We wanted to save all of our money and put it into our Europe trip. If you didn't know, we're going to Tomorrowland next month, and we're also doing like an entire trip out of it. We're going to a bunch of cities in different countries. He heard that we were leaving for 2 weeks and now he's like, what the fuck? We were able to go at the last minute. We got guest passes, which we are so unbelievably grateful for. And my friend who works for Live Nation, like you saw in the vlogs, which I hope you guys liked the vlogs. Let me know if you prefer it all in one video like I did for the first time. I usually split them up by day, of course, but I just felt like putting it all in one, A, because I didn't have as many clips as usual, and B, I just thought it was something different and fun, and I see some other creators doing that with their festival vlogs, so let me know your thoughts. Anyway, so we were staying with my friend Alexa in her hotel that she had through work, so everything just kind of like fell into place for us to be able to go for little to no cost, and we were like, we can't pass it up. It's one of our favorite festivals in the world. It was incredible. We got to see the festival from a whole different perspective. I stayed in a hotel for the very first time. I've never not camped at EDC, and I'm gonna do a whole separate video on my thoughts on camping versus staying in a hotel. I already did a TikTok on it as well, but I want to get into the details. So I'll have that video up soon as well. But we stayed at Resorts World. We had the shuttle, the industry shuttle, which was so easy to get to and from the festival. It was just like so clutch and so interesting, like a totally different EDC experience for me. I've been a few times, so it was cool to see it in a different way, and we just had the best fucking time, like literally the best time. So many more core memories made. I say this every EDC. I'm like, that was the best EDC yet. I swear, you guys, I swear, even last year with the whole RV situation, still an incredible festival. I had the best time ever when we were inside the festival. Not at camp, but inside the festival. So I'm just feeling so grateful. I keep reminiscing on the experience and I'm just so happy with how it went this year. And oh my god, it was just amazing this year. So without further ado, let's get into my categories like I always do. First is weather and terrain. Of course, it is scorchingly hot during the day because you're in Vegas in the desert, but luckily the festival takes place mostly when the sun is down, so it kind of breaks the heat a little bit. But it is like a minimum 95 degrees each day, no joke. And just like having to leave the hotel and go outside for anything and stepping out into that weather, Garrett and I just kept looking at each other. We were like, oh, thank god we're not camping this time around. Like, we don't know if we can do it anymore, you guys. I have a blood pressure condition and heat makes it even worse, so like me and heat don't get along. And I think that's part of the reason, like with camping last year, camping in 2021 was the shit because the weather that EDC was fucking incredible because it was October. And then 2022, it was fucking hot as shit. And then last year it was so hot and our RV broke down. It was just a mess. So walking outside every day, we were just like, dude, how did we ever camp in this? Like, this is miserable, particularly last year with not even having AC. Oh my god, like it's at least 95 degrees each day. It's so hot. I don't know how you people who live in Vegas. Like, are you good? I know it gets cooler at night, but like I've been to Vegas in July. That was definitely the worst. It had to have been like 110 degrees. Oh my god, I can't handle it. And I don't care anyone who says, but it's dry heat. Yes, that makes it a little bit better than humidity. Oh my god, I would not be able to do 110 degrees with humidity. But like it really doesn't make it that much better. It's still really fucking hot, and like your skin gets so dry and your lips are constantly chapped. Whatever. The first day I was definitely the most uncomfortable. I think it was the hottest that day, and it just like was not getting much cooler as the night went on. So I was really uncomfortable that day. We also were outside during the day, so I think I was a little exhausted from the heat. I get such bad heat exhaustion, you guys. Like I said, blood pressure issues. And I'm really glad I had a hotel this year because I don't know if I can do the heat anymore unless I have, again, like a very functional RV. I think if I was camping this year, I would have gotten heat exhaustion again. Like in case you missed all of that last year, I fainted twice. It was not good. I was so uncomfortable the whole festival. The first night was a little toasty, but then the last 2 nights it was great. It was and the wind, the breeze helps a bit, but yeah, really hot during the day. So if you're camping, you have to prepare for that. Okay, transportation, again, very different for me this year because I was in a hotel for the first time. I've never not camped. So the shuttle, we were at Resorts World, like I mentioned, and we had the industry shuttle, which is a totally separate shuttle line and area outside of Resorts World. You do have to pay for it unless obviously like your client relationship or whatever is gonna pay for it, but I thought it was so worth the money. I think we each paid like $140. So it equates to less than 50 bucks a day. And that thing, you guys, it takes the same path. Claudine had the Premier shuttle last year, or one of them, and she said that it took the same path. You basically cut around, like if this is the strip, you cut around all of Vegas and go up through the military base. Pasquale must have struck some kind of deal with the military base because you literally enter through it and like go a huge back road through the base into the festival. It's crazy. We also never had to wait for a shuttle to arrive. We never had to wait for one to fill up because obviously it's industry, so people have to get there like for work, for their artists, whatever. So they're constantly running. They have bathrooms, AC, most of them had outlets. Like it was so easy and just so comfortable. And I don't know what I forget what Claude said the Premier shuttles were like. She said, I don't think she said that they were as, like they didn't have outlets or they weren't as swanky as that, but they take the same route. So you skip all the traffic, because my thing with always camping was I just cannot bring myself to deal with the fucking traffic on the strip. I just can't. And I think after doing hotel and having a shuttle, and it's not like the industry one takes its own path. Like I said, the Premier ones do the same thing. If you can snag one of the Premier shuttles, I know they sell out really quick, and it's for a reason, because you literally dodge all of the traffic. And as long as you have good time management skills and you're not getting to the festival at like 11 p.m., you're not gonna sit in traffic. And I think that's what I learned this year, is that I feel like a lot of the people who are like, I waited 3 hours in traffic, are the people who are leaving for the festival at like 9 p.m. The longest it ever took us to get to or from the festival was coming back on, I think it was the second day, yeah, on Saturday, because we left literally right as the festival was ending in the morning, and so everyone was leaving. But still, it only took us an hour, and I just passed out on the bus. Like I fell asleep fully and woke up and we were at Resorts World. So an hour to me is like nothing, honestly. You lose me at like an hour and a half onwards, and especially for EDC, I don't know, an hour is fine. Usually for us it was around, I would say the average was like 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes door to door, Resorts World to the festival. So I thought it was so incredible, and we're so lucky to have had that, because it really, I think that makes or breaks the hotel experience. Is obviously, I mean, the hotel that you stay in, because some of them in Vegas are not so nice, but also what kind of transportation you have for the festival. And even on, I forget if it was the second or third day, Emma, our wonderful friend Emma, she ended up Ubering to the festival, and she timed it so that she was leaving pretty early, and she said she got to the Speedway in like 20 minutes or something like that. So I think if you actually plan and leave early, you are fine with the transportation and getting there. I think to each their own. I had a very pleasant experience doing hotel and shuttle, but I think, again, it really depends on what hotel you're in. Also, for us being at Resorts World, we're at like the top of the strip basically, or very north, so it's also a shorter drive. If you're at a hotel that's like all the way at the bottom of the strip and you leave for the festival at 9 p.m, you may very well not get there till midnight, naturally. Let's talk about vibes, because again, I'll talk more about transportation in a hotel versus camp video. It was definitely very packed in the general admission areas for sure. So navigating from certain stages was a little tricky, and you could tell people were kind of frustrated in the crowd trying to like sardine walk their way through. So there was definitely that, but overall I had a lot of very positive interactions in the crowd. At one point it was so crazy, you guys. Oh my god, little EDC moment. At one point we were in the crowd at Circuit Grounds and Garrett started chatting with this couple that was standing next to us, and we come to find out that this guy is from the same exact county in Pennsylvania that my parents live in. And it is not a large area, okay? Like, it is a lot of little small towns. What are the fucking odds? I don't know, the world is so small that I thought that was so crazy. Anyways, I thought there was a lot of plur, and as I always say, it really depends on what sets you go to and what stages you go to. If you are at Kinetic Field all weekend, you're not gonna have so much fun in the crowd, okay? I'm not really a Kinetic Field girly. I'll go there for a few sets. I got dragged to Subtronics this year, and I really didn't want to go because I don't like the Kinetic Field crowd. Yeah, it was fucking packed, and people were just so like pushy, and they just like will literally push through and then stand right in front of you. And I'm like, anyway, so it really depends, I think, what sets and stages you go to. Going to a lot of the smaller artists, like especially a lot of the smaller D&B artists, oh my god, amazing vibes in the crowd. It's just incredible. So again, depends on where you go. In terms of vendors, I feel like I can't speak too much on this year just because, again, we had guest passes. So we had our own lounge with like an open bar, and even for water, like at the beginning of the night, I didn't bring a hydration pack this year. I'm kind of over the hydration pack because I never drink enough water for it to like make sense to have this clunky backpack on me. Now I just use the lunchbox mini pack. But at the beginning of the night, like, they have fresh cold water bottles in the industry lounge. I would take like 1 or 2, throw them in my bag, boom, that's my water for the night. We didn't have to wait in the water refill lines constantly. We obviously went a few times, and like here and there they were pretty long, but you just gotta find the right one and like maneuver into whichever line is shortest. We did buy drinks once at a bar just because where we were at in the festival, it didn't make sense to walk all the way back up to the industry lounge, you guys. It's behind Kinetic Field. You have to walk up the stairs of the Speedway to get up there. So great workout, but they really make you work for it because they're like, there's an open bar up here. If they're coming from inside the festival, you gotta work for it, okay? I got my steps in. But at one point we did buy drinks at one of the bars, and they were fucking expensive. We got 2 doubles, and I think it was like $60 or something crazy like that. However, that bartender had a hefty pour, okay? She had a heavy hand because we got hammered. We were fucking hammered on the 3rd night, I'm gonna be honest. Like, we got 2 or 3 drinks in the artist lounge, which they also had a heavy hand, and then we bought these. We were like, oh my god, we were unwell Monday morning. I'm gonna be honest, like waking up on Monday morning and having them like knock on our hotel door, be like, you have to check out. I was like, what? I was like, I can't. And that's why I don't really drink at festivals that much anymore, because the hangover. Okay, and then security, I can't really speak on this either for this year because we went through the artist entrance. So I will let others chime in the comments how security was both for camp and for the festival. Production and layout, such an important category in this recap this year, because EDC was completely changed layout wise. They put downtown EDC in the middle. They switched some stages around, so where Neon Garden and Quantum Valley used to be, flip-flopped with Base Pod and Wasteland. And I loved this layout so much more. You guys, if you were not a fan of some of the crowd issues at EDC last year, I promise you, like, yes, it was still crowded as shit in a lot of areas. Oh my god, for Fred again on Saturday night, the surprise set, whoo, we were walking from VIP Base Pod to get around to VIP Circuit Grounds. The crowd at Circuit was so far back, it was nasty to navigate. Anyways, I promise you, like, if you had issues with crowding last year, I would encourage you to maybe check out the festival again, because the way they laid it out this time was so much better for crowd control. The only issue I think we had with crowd was when there were 2 very popular sets at Circuit and Base Pod, because they're right next to each other. So that was the only time where we would ever have issues with trying to get, you know, through a whole bunch of people. It would be very packed. But other than that, like, aside from also the fact that you don't have the best view of the fireworks from Base Pod or Wasteland anymore, because they used to be right there and that's where I love to watch them, the layout made so much more sense, you guys. And if you've been, you know, especially last year, there were so many very popular sets at Base Pod, and that crowd would be so far back. It would go past, which road is that? Rainbow Road? I can't remember. It would go past the road into the vendors on the other side of the road, and that's the path that people use to get to and from Circuit and Kinetic. So it was like miserable. Oh my god, what was the fucking set last year? I think it was Excision and Dion. You could not get through. It was fucking crazy, and you couldn't even like, oh my god, you could barely hear the music because the crowd was so far back, and we were like, we're not even gonna try to get in for this because we're just gonna leave soon anyway to get somewhere else. But whoo, it was not good. This year, I'm not shitting you, there was one point where we walked from Circuit Grounds VIP all the way to Kinetic VIP, and it was starting to get crowded at Circuit because it was John Summit and we were leaving to go to Kinetic Field. 5 minutes. I shit you not, you guys, 5 minutes. And I completely forgot that we were going to meet Claude at Kinetic, and I looked at the time and I was like, oh shit, like that set starts in like 5 minutes, we gotta go. Boom, 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 because there's no fucking crowd at Base Pod to be blocking your entire way. It just made so much more sense, you guys. I'm so glad that they did that, and I also thought that they definitely added more production elements as well. Maybe I'm crazy for that. If you went, let me know, because I don't think I'm crazy. Like, there were way more drone shows. I felt like there were little things added around the festival. If you went to, they deconstructed Pixel Forest, which made me kind of sad. It's not like a little tunnel that you walk through anymore, but it was this whole area off to the side, and they had like, I wish I took a video of it because we were going ham on this thing, but they had like this video game set up that you could play. Downtown EDC was so cool. We went to EDC, the new bar with like the line dancing, and it was literally all just EDM remixes of country songs. It was crazy. And we went in there and Garrett knew all the words, and it was one of those moments where I was like, my boyfriend's from the South. Anyway, it was so much fun, and we got to see a wedding. Of course, we saw Maddie and Lucas's wedding, which I've never actually been able to sit in the chapel for one. It was just so cool. I was the legal witness, which is fucking crazy. But there were just so, I don't know, I felt like the production was up to this year, and I always appreciate when a festival does that because you can tell the increase in ticket prices, like part of it goes back into the festival. Am I crazy? Anyone else who went, let me know, but I just felt like the production was up. It was just, you know, stepped up a notch a little this year. And I don't know, maybe I was imagining it. I swear it was something about it this year. And also, oh my god, the stage, the Kinetic Field stage, I did not even realize, you guys, obviously it was like the chapel church theme, and I didn't catch this until I saw a video of it afterwards. I don't know about you guys. Each like pillar on the Kinetic Field like chapel stage had a little thing that was an homage to a previous EDC theme. So like one of them was like the woman Kinetic Field stage, one of them was like the owl. It went completely over my head. I didn't even notice, but the theme this year was Kinetic Circle, like full circle, and I thought that was such a nice touch. It was so cool. That stage was fucking incredible. And I don't know, the full circle theme this year, it was so crazy that that was the theme that Insomniac picked, because I and Emma was saying the same thing, and Aid as well, when we were debriefing to her. It was such a full circle festival for us, because here we are, the two of us who EDC Vegas inspired like so much of what we do. So crazy that yapping on YouTube about EDC got us where we are. I don't know, it was just like so full circle, the fact that we're able to now go through connections at work or connections that we made through YouTube. It was just so cool, and we were talking about that afterwards, and we were like, it's so weird that that was the theme this year, and that's how it felt for us. Like, this was the most full circle EDC that I've ever had. EDC also has a lot to do with Garrett and I's relationship. It has played a huge part in our relationship. So again, just like more full circle moments. It was just so cool. Okay, let's talk lineup. I absolutely loved this lineup this year. It was really what sold me, and I just felt like there was a good mix of genres. We saw almost all of our favorite artists, I'm not kidding you, in one weekend, and the sets were absolutely incredible. Slander during the fireworks, you guys, I shit you not. So we started watching the set in the crowd, and then we were like, we have to sit on the bleachers for the fireworks, like, come on. And so we walk up there, run into our friends literally right before the fucking fireworks start. We were looking for Mac, and he was coming to find us, and then we're sitting there, and like 3 rows in front, I look down, and it's fucking our friend Troy and some of our other friends, and he turns around and he's like, just randomly ran into each other. And so then we all watched the fireworks together. They were during Walk on Water. I have goosebumps right now. I'm not even kidding you. I was stone cold sober and the fireworks start and I'm looking up and I just started crying. Like I couldn't even control it. Tears just started flowing. And I was like, this is one of the most core EDC memories I'll ever have. It's like sitting here with all my people watching this. Like this is incredible. It was insane. That set was crazy. Also worship during sunrise. Everything was just so good. Like the music was so good. Can't speak enough good things about the lineup. Is VIP worth it? I always talk about this and I feel like the more years that I go to EDC Vegas, the more I advocate that it is worth it. But I think a lot of it depends on how seasoned you are with festival going, how old you are, you know, what you want to put your money into. Obviously, if you're a young college kid, you're not going to do VIP, and that makes total sense. But I feel like the older I get and the more festivals I go to, and especially for EDC, I've done GA once, and then every time after that, I've been lucky enough to have VIP or guests just through work. And I really honestly think that it's worth it, you guys. It's so expensive, but there's so many amenities. Just with how crowded it keeps getting in GA as well, just to be able to get out of that crowd and be somewhere more breathable, to me is worth it like a million times over. But it's also something where like if your whole group doesn't have it, then it's kind of hard because you want to stick together with everyone, obviously. And like for us, almost all of us had VIP, at least like me, Emma, Garrett, Matt, and Claude. So we stuck together most of the weekend, and we were able to be in like a nicer access area with better views and easy access bathrooms and a bar and water and stuff like that, you know. But if you are a seasoned festival goer and you haven't done EDC Vegas, I would recommend doing VIP, just because the GA crowd is so packed nowadays, and the bathrooms, like, oh my god, there's always one point every EDC where like it doesn't make sense to go to the VIP bathrooms, or there's not one nearby, and if I really have to pee, like I'll just go to the porta potties. I don't even know how long we waited. There was one point where, I don't know if you guys know, right by Cosmic, there's no VIP bathroom there. There's GA and GA plus, and so we went to GA plus and we waited at least half an hour, and we came back and Garrett was like, I literally thought you guys fell in. Like, what the fuck took so long? But the lines were atrocious, so that was not so fun. So just to have VIP, and obviously like the VIP bathroom lines will get long too, but there's a lot of them, and so I don't know, there's just like little things with VIP that just make it worth it. I don't know, I just like things like that with VIP that make it worth it. And I don't know, to each their own. Also, like, Kinetic has breakfast in the morning when the sun comes up. It's really cute. I don't know, there's all these little things, okay? And it's just, I think, very, very worth it, but it depends where you're at in life and how long you've been raving for. Last question, would I go back? 1,010,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000% yes, always. I will always go back to EDC Vegas. I was, like I said in a few videos now, I was pretty content with taking a year off, even though it's one of my favorite festivals. Same with Forest this year. I was like, you know what? I feel good about taking a year off, saving some money, putting it into the Europe trip. Obviously then, you know, opportunity presented itself for us to go at little to no cost. And it just like really reminded me why I love that festival so much. And like I said, there were a lot of very full circle moments this year and so many special moments. And I think it just like reaffirmed. And the same with Emma too. Like we always say every year, we're like, oh my god, this is why we go back every single year. Like we just love it so much. The production, the fireworks, the music, just like watching the fireworks with your people will heal you. It will fucking heal you, okay? And I'm just so thankful for this year and all the memories that were formed with it. And I love this festival so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed the vlogs. Or the vlog, I should say, because I put all the vibes in one video this year. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported my channel for I don't even know how many years at this point, because yapping on YouTube somehow has gotten me so many cool opportunities and experiences, and it's literally why I was able to do EDC this year, is through like connections I've made through YouTube and through my work. So I can't thank you guys enough, and just thanks for being here and listening to me yap constantly. Next video will definitely be talking about camp versus hotel, my overall thoughts and everything. So be on the lookout for that. And then after that, I am going to Europe to do the whole trip with Tomorrowland. I'll be gone for 2 weeks on the dot, I'm pretty sure. So I am just so excited to document that for you guys. And definitely subscribe if you haven't, because that will be coming soon. And I appreciate you guys very much, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.